this way. We're a low budget channel after all. This is our first video of my channel. We're doing a tank fact. Actually, I want to do an overall World War II video, but I guess that will come later. So today we'll start with a tank first, because I'm not sure and I'm nervous. Well, this channel will be doing history facts, and most of them will be about weapons and military tactics and how this battle go. For example, like battle curse or what you wanna, or yes, all those facts. But we'll start small and then we'll get big better. Wait, there's a 10 power left, 10% battery left. Gotta hurry. So, well, today we'll start with the Sherman tanks. The Sherman tank is an American M4 tank. It has been built as a medium tank and very well known during World War II. The Shermans were introduced in 1942. The first battle that he entered is in the North African campaign in 1942. The Sherman have come out to be quite an impressive tank. It have enough firepower to compare itself to a Panzer IV of the German Wehrmacht army. But this model that I have to show you here are the late model. I will be talking about the early model first. The early model were called the M4. One of the first were the M4A1 and the M4. The M4A1 have quite a weak manlet compared to the late version. The M4A1 also have a curved hull and look circle. It looks circular. Yes, that's the word. I'm not very good at English, but for an easy word, I can put it together in a sentence. Okay, let's go back to the Shermans. The Sherman, when it entered the battle in North Africa, it's come out to be quite superior to most of the German tank at the time. The Panzer III cannot penetrate the Sherman front armor because the Panzer III, the early version only have a 37mm gun, and in 1942 most of them only have that. The Sherman ran into troubles when the Germans start building Tiger tanks or Panzerkampfwagen 6, and those were very powerful with this 88mm cannon. And with the Sherman at the time, the Sherman have quite a powerful 75mm guns, and its trusty M2 Browning machine guns, or the 50 cal if you want to call it in short, and another small 7.62mm machine guns on the turret. But the Sherman can't compare itself to the Tiger at all. The Tiger have way more powerful gun than the Shermans, and the early Sherman have no way of penetrating the Tiger front armor. With the early Sherman only have around 90mm of penetration. Meanwhile, the Tiger can penetrate 160mm, and the Tiger front armor is 100mm. And the side and the rear also have only 80mm of armor, but it's not really it's not really the word, that's still a lot. So the early Sherman have problem dealing with Tigers. They can only destroy it from the side with a lucky shot through the rear, through around this area, or like the area between the hole and the tracks. These areas are quite weak for most of the tank. Also for the rear is quite weak because that is where the engine is. But still, we go on to 1944. Now the Allies have started landing in Normandy, or Operation Neptune D-Day. That's what in around mid 1944, I think, the Allies start developing a new Sherman. This new Sherman have a new 76mm gun. These also have muzzle brake and it have a larger size. And also they got a new turret as well. It have a new manlet that have quite better penetration. Still have its trusty 50 caliber machine guns. But these new guns can now penetrate the Tiger I front on. But in 1944 they also meet a new adversaries, a German medium tank, a Panther tank, or Panzerkampfwagen 5. Those have a 75mm too, but the Panther 75mm gun have been known for being one of the best guns in World War II, also being a foundation of modern tanks or MBT's main battle tanks. So the Sherman meet these two new big cats, the Panther and the Tiger, but they are rarely seen the Tiger and Panthers because actually the Tiger and Panthers were like 5% of the Wehrmacht army. Most of them were Panzer IVs, Panzer III, those old tanks, and even Marder III. So the Sherman performing quite well. And also the production of them is quite high among the Allied army. There were 50,000 Sherman tanks have been produced. And even though the Tiger is far more superior, there were only around 800 builds. So the Sherman will dominate them anyway in terms of number. But still, the Sherman will come out to be quite a reliable vehicle in the late war times. During the first time the Sherman entered battle in North Africa, they were quite easy to destroy and catch fire extremely easy. But in the late war version it came out to be better. Also the British have taken a design, have get themselves a new Sherman type. Those type were the Fireflies. I don't have the model here, but if you only look about the size of the gun, then the Firefly is quite close to the normal 1944 M4A2. Or there were many designs of the Sherman. The early, as I told you before, were the M4A1 and the M4. Through the war, there were many designs of the Shermans. And the Sherman were the workhorse of the Allied army. It literally do everything. To armored recovery, turn into a reconnaissance tank that have no turret, turn into a self-artillery, and even turn into a flamethrower tank by, I don't know, it's an experiment. And the Sherman can be modified with anything. And back to the type of the Shermans, there were also many types that I have to talk about because it's quite important. Are the M4A3. I don't have the model of it again. I only have one Sherman model in my house. These the M4A3 were the one that were equipped with 105mm howitzers. The 105 howitzers were produced and were designed to destroy bunkers because they were equipped with high explosive shells. These shells were quite important for taking on infantry. Then, like I told you before, in 1944 the Allies had come up with a new design, or the new 76.2mm guns. And there were also many designs with this gun. The first one were the M4A2. No, I'm sorry, I can't really remember all the modification of the Sherman because there were so many of the types. But the one that I have over here is actually an M4A3E8, simply called the ECH Sherman, or is well known in the movie Fury in 2014. These ones are the last version of the Sherman during World War II, and they were quite powerful at that time, and they are winning the war because they have more numbers. And well, sometimes quantity is better than quality during the war times. Still, there are so many designs of the Sherman, I may not be able to cover all of them in one video. Back to the, well, I'm sorry, I skipped one part. Let's go back to the Firefly. The Firefly were, well, former fires look like this, but actually it were equipped with a 17-pounder gun. Have even more penetration power than the late war 76mm gun. But the Fireflies have an even more powerful 17-pounder. They can penetrate a Tiger front-on for sure. But the problem about penetrating and heavy German armor actually come in handy when you're fighting these new Tiger tanks. The normal Shermans, or the puny 75mm gun one, can already penetrate everything when it's come up at first in 1942. But when they gone far into the war, around 1944 and 1943, they made a new Tiger tank, so they developed a new gun. The 17-pounder is quite well known during the war because it's the only gun that can penetrate the German big cats front on. But still, for the Panthers have an extremely well armored hull that can't be penetrated by anything in World War II except like a Karate howitzers, that big one on railing that the German have. But I don't think that will fight the Sherman anytime soon. It's too overpowered. Still, even though after World War II the Sherman still perform many roles and still in many country service. Today in Chilean army, or well that country in South Africa, they still have a Sherman tank. Unbelievable. The Sherman were equipped with APFDS cannon 60mm. Even though the Sherman is a World War II tank, it's still in many countries service today. One of the most recognizable Sherman in modern army is like in the 6-Day War, or the war that Israel tried to get more territory, in short. Those wars the Sherman have been upgraded after World War II is in around the 60s. In the 6-Day War, the Sherman in that war were called the Super Sherman. And those Super Sherman were called the M4A4. They were equipped with a French-made gun into a new Sherman turret, but still they were equipped with the same hull. And they still got their own machine gun and those other things that normal Sherman have during the war. But the Israel version were painted in desert camouflage and have a new, way better gun, or the Autoluder. I think that will wrap up this episode. It's all about a very simple fact of Shermans, and it's a first video on this channel anyway. So my sounds and my voice may seem tricky at first because this is the first time talking English this long and performing such an accent, even though I'm an Asian. So I guess we'll stop here. And this is a low budget channel. I may have to record video on my phone forever, and the battery is running low. See you on the next video. See you later. Bye.